right, welcome back, my friends. So, Ryan here, and we're going to go ahead and get started with day four of this day trading experiment here to see what we can do and just try to figure out if we can make this work. So, there's three stocks I'm looking at today: CASI, KALA, and PHUM. These are the three that hit the scanner that fit my criteria for eligibility, which is going to be stocks priced between $5 and $20. It means the relative volume is at least 3x. It means the float is under 20 million, and I'm also looking for news of some kind. So I'm just kind of watching these and seeing if there's any opportunities that are going to arise. Now, this is the smallest of the gainers. This one has not gapped up as much as any of the others. But when we look at these two, right, I don't really see, we're not really seeing great charts. I think this is probably the best, in my opinion, out of all three that I have. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm probably going to watch this one the closest. I'm going to see if we can't get some sort of upwards movement here, but we're going a little sideways now. So I don't really know what's going to happen. We're making slightly higher lows, but it's not really moving, so to speak, right? It had a huge move, in the after hours yesterday, and then it kind of sold off this morning, and it's just been kind of sideways all day. It had this move here, but the pattern didn't continue, right? It pulled up, and then it sold off right back to pretty much, right around, not much more in the same area to what it was. So is this just going to go sideways all day? I don't know. We're going to have to see. So we're just going to keep an eye on this one. Again, huge gap up, and then we sold off, and now we're kind of going sideways. So maybe we just wait and see what the chart does, see what it, kind of form we end up with. Some might say that it looks like there's a bull flag here. I don't really see a bull flag myself. I saw somebody say that about this in one of the chat rooms. Oh, this is forming a bull flag on the 5 minute. That doesn't really feel like a bull flag to me. That just feels like a downward trend, but I could be wrong. We'll see. I was wrong yesterday about when that was going to go up. So let's see what happens on that. This here, yeah. So this is the same thing. I mean, this is really really choppy too. So like looking at this, you get a lot of these little flat candles where there's just the volume. There's like none. There's no volume, and then a bunch of volume came in, right? So it squeezed up, and then it pulled back, and then it squeezed up again. And then we had all of this. This is huge. This is $8 all the way down to $6. A 2 point swing, two candles in a row that swung 2 points. I don't know what that means, right? I guess it doesn't really mean anything to me. It just means that there's not anything you can really read there. It doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't know that there's an entry here to have caught this swing, right? By the time it started looking like a normal chart, it's already too far, right? It's too far into the move. It's already getting up near the pre-market high. So there wouldn't have even been an entry here. But then you still have that choppiness here after this sell off. So I don't know. One green candle up and then another one. There's just not a pattern that's forming on this. So I think I'm going to keep an eye on this here, and we're going to see what happens. And if an opportunity presents itself, then we just might take it. So just in the couple minutes I've been watching this, it has sold off even further. It was sitting around this support just a minute ago, right before this little green candle formed, and then it sold off even further. So we're seeing lower lows, we're seeing lower highs. I don't want to trade against the trend. I'm thinking there's probably going to be some kind of upswing. There's going to be, right, it's going to pull back up, squeeze up a little bit, just but it's going to squeeze up for another sell off, is what it looks like is going to happen. My suspicion is that this trend is just going to continue, but we'll keep watching. See, now this one's kind of looking a little interesting because when I look at this chart, right, I see lower volume happening now as it's continuing to go down, or really low volume happening, and it's maintaining this, right? So it bounced up and down off of this 565-ish level quite a bit. It consolidated all through here, then it squeezed up, pushed past the VWAP, got rejected back down, and now we're still kind of sitting there. The only big problem with this one is if you look at the 1 day chart, this thing's just been beaten and beaten and beaten and down. I mean, this is down what is it, close to 50%. So the high was 729, 730, and it's been beaten down to 421. So just under 50%. And I think it's just beat down. But this could be the pop right here. So I'm wondering, see what's going to happen there. The bid and ask is really, really tight. So I'd be interested to see if this amounts to anything. But the volume is staying kind of flat. I think if we get a lot of volume to come in, I think that might move up a little bit. We might get another one, like another one of these maybe. And we have a huge, huge bid order. Well, not huge, huge. It's 7,700 shares at 585. And the ask is it's not traded very thick. It's kind of thin there. So there's that first high candle. So that would be interesting to see. Is this going to push up or is this going to fall off? If this will push up, then I might look for a pullback and try to get in, but it's got to push up. And we do have a lot of green on the tape. I'm watching that very closely. There we go. Cool. That's awesome. I thought it's even though I'm not in it, it's cool because it means my thought process is somewhere along the lines of accurate. Now we do have this VWAP at 597. This is my purple line, the VWAP, and then we have that psychological resistance at 6. Which did we reject that at any other point in time? We pushed through here, but we pushed through quite a bit. We got to almost over 610. So it almost doesn't seem like $6 was a problem. Right here, right, we got a little stuck, so we pushed up through and then we fell back under. It was like a false breakout here. So that's interesting. I'm just kind of now seeing that, but we do have resistance right here before at the VWAP. So if we can break above that and hold above that, then I think is going to be the best time to look for a position. Because do we really have a trend here? I mean, in terms of we have a trend. I think we have a sideways trend. I don't think we have an uptrend. It got rejected off of this VWAP again. So it's looking kind of weak. I don't know. It's looking weak. In that moment, it looked strong. In that moment, it looked to me like, if I were to describe it, it looked like, yeah, this could do something here. But I'm not certain about it, and I'm not feeling like it's going to be very powerful. So that's why I didn't want to get into it. That's why I knew at that moment I'm not getting into this, but I still think something's going to happen. And like I said, some traders, I'm only looking to trade the perfect setups. I don't want my balance to go down. Obviously, it's going to have to from time to time, but I want to feel as certain as I possibly can every position. And if that means I don't trade, I'm okay with that. But we're getting pretty close to when the market's going to open. We're at 917. So let's keep it on, keep watching on some of these. Let's go take a look at PHUN, which we haven't looked at, which is still continuing to just trend down. It's at the 200, which is this red line. It's at the 200 now. When was so this is pre-market here forward. So this is really, really choppy through here. And now it had whatever this is happened in here, and now it's just going down. Sell off, step down, step down, step down, step. It might curl back up, but not getting very excited about it. Okay, well, let's keep an eye on these, and we'll see if any kind of opportunities pop up. All right, so this just popped up on the scanner. BSFC, Blue Star Food Corps. What do I know about it? So it's up 90% on the day. The volume's 9.9 million. Relative volume is 32x, and there's less than a million float. So 953,000 shares available, which is nice. Let's see here. What can we learn about this? So bid and ask isn't really making any sense. It's this is something I got to figure out. I don't know why, right? Our stock price is 345. Why is it showing me $1.84 orders sitting here for that much cheaper, willing to sell? That I don't know. I got to figure out what that means. But our spread is actually really, really tight in terms of what's moving. So that's good. It seems to be experiencing a sell-off right now. So I don't know if that's the trend breaking or what, but this is where we've got some volume. Currently trading at about $3. It's under my $5 that I like. Right now, the one day, I mean, this is fine. It's been getting a little beat up, being pushed down, but it's gapping up on good news. It does have news. So let's see. Maybe we're gonna get a pullback, like a bounce, a bounce off of this. We're gonna see, some upward movement here. Where could we possibly come back down to though? So we're looking at, what was this? So if we got into this, we'd be getting in around $2. We broke through $2 here. And then this kind of floated along the moving average right up to a 295. So that would have been a 50% gain. This might be looking like potential buy-in right here, but volume was increasing on those sell bars. High sell volume here. We had higher buying volume. We've got a lot of green on the tape coming through. Why are we're starting to get a lot of buy orders coming in. So we probably could watch for a position here. Let's see if we get a new high. What does a 5-minute look like? So if we zoom this in, this just looks like a pullback here. It's not really a pullback even. It's just this is a graveyard doji, so that could mean it's going to push up. Graveyard, I think they call that a graveyard. It's like a little doji thing. Yeah, I mean, aside from the volume, everything kind of says, yeah, go for it. If we get a surge of volume, that could mean get in. And remember, it's not going to actually execute any orders for me in the pre-market. So if I try to execute an order, I just have to kind of monitor it. Sell wall down here. We got some sellers coming in at 314. So they're creating a bit of a wall there. So if we push through that, we might go to 328, 314, 314. We got low volume though on this. So when we get that volume, it might sell off. I don't know. I think I'm gonna not hover over the button for this. And we're making a new low past from the previous candle. Okay. I gotta figure out this bid and ask thing. I want these to just line up like it does on everybody else's screen. I don't know why it looks the way it does. I don't know why this didn't show up on well, it did. It did show up on the scan initially when I looked. Because it's showing me anything under $20. I just focused on these three because look at how low this was. This was like under 250 a share when I was first looking at it. I don't want to trade stuff that low in price. Now it's a little higher. I guess it really shouldn't make a difference for me, but I don't know. It's something I got to figure out. Might be getting ready for another leg up here. Let's see. We got some green. Yeah, I think this is looking better to me. So are we gonna make, what do we gotta get through? What are we at? We're at 315. I don't know. I might wait to break high of day on this one because we still don't have that volume. It's trying really, really hard with this low volume. Right? You can kind of see what this low volume is doing through here. This high volume we had was sell volume, it went down because we've got the potential to go to 345. You'd take some off the table, I suppose, right there. And then the market's going to open. So the whole trend can just change. This could be one where it just explodes when the market opens. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really have no idea. But we do have, consolidating. And we do have pretty good periods. So we've got, once we reach this little top here, big topping tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we popped up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then we popped up, but the volume was increasing all throughout this, right? So if we look, or no, we come over here. This is where we saw it. No, it wasn't increasing. It was actually decreasing like it is now. Oh, and there's the sell off. Yeah, so I wasn't hovering over the button for that. We may pull back to the VWAP and use that, find support there, or we may find it right at $3. That's psychological support. But I don't really want to buy on support. I want to buy on what looks like a breakout. So we've got 3 minutes till the opening bell. Might as well just wait for that. Little baby bullish candle right here. Now this might be I went right to the button. You see that? Oh, I've already got like a habit of doing that. I don't want to press that right now. So this is that leg up. It looks like we just broke above these moving averages. Is level 2 telling me anything? Not really. It's giving me a tight spread, but we've got a It almost looks like there's more limit orders on the ask coming in than there is on the bid. Now we've got quite a few on the bid. Um, I want to see what this does into market open and up around the high of day. Because now it looks like we're making another leg up. What's this 5 minute gonna do? Is this 5 minute gonna give us a buy signal? And if it does, then I'll feel really, really good about it. Because the volume's not even really increasing right now. It's just kind of it bumped up a little bit, but this bar was still relatively low. This bar is coming up higher, and it's really not doing. It's now it's getting a little bit more impressive. It's getting starting to move a little faster here. Um, just keep watching it. Broke through the high a day right there, so I put an order in. We're gonna set our max loss down at 325. It won't fill. It hasn't filled, so I should be able to fill. I don't know why that didn't fill. I wanted it to. Oh, there we go. Did it just fill? Yeah, it filled at 342. So I'm in at 342. And we're down quite a bit. Let's let this go up. We're in 10,000 shares. Yeah, 342. Let's let this keep pushing its way up. Or if we break down into a new low or we go below this, that's where we're going to bail out. But let's see what's going to happen here. I kind of went out on a whim on this. This wasn't exactly the setup, but I just says, let's see what's going to happen here. So there's our buy-in right there. Now we're pushing a little higher. I'm going to take a little off the table. Take a little off the table right there if we can. Okay, sold half. And we'll sell the rest. Well, I don't want to sell the whole rest. Let's see what's going to happen here. The 5 minutes looking kind of good. I mean, I don't want it to sell off and eat up the rest of what my profit is that we caught on that. But it is becoming a little bit stale, I think. Volume's not as high as it was. Volume's kind of going down. So what do we have left of the position? We're still long 5,000. Let's get out. Okay. So that was interesting. So played the breakout on the open, made the decision, and this right. I still don't have a lot of certainty about where this is going. As you can see, this candle's turning green. It's kind of holding this, and it just closed as a little bit of an indecisive candle, but uh, I do feel like the bulls are still controlling this, and this is probably going to go up. But we could see a sell off before it makes another leg up. The thing that was making me nervous about this is look at how the volume's decreasing as we're struggling to break this three. We were actually kind of struggling at the 358 mark. We popped up above it a few times, but I was just, I was seeing a lot of struggling going on here. Whereas here it's just moving and moving and it's just kind of gapping. We're struggling for a good period of time. We struggled here around the close of this candle. We sat there a while, then we fluttered a little bit and we just kind of sat there with this candle. Now we're selling off, so it looks like it was a good decision. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a pullback and it's going to leg up again. But uh, obviously we'll keep watching it and see what happens. But what made me nervous was this volume decreasing a little bit. It's just up so much that I don't know. Are people taking profit? The level two wasn't really giving me anything conclusive. Like I'm looking over here and I really didn't see where I thought that this was, we've got a lot of support. There wasn't like a lot of green on the tape either. It was just kind of floating there. And if I was still in, this is around where my buy-in was. The combination of the amount of volume that came in and this being trending up and having a pretty good looking pattern all of pre-market, and then having that shoot up and just effortlessly breaking through the high, that's what gave me the confidence I needed to get in. And it didn't fill right away. I bought on the ads because I wanted to just get in, and it doesn't seem like that happened. Um, don't know why. See, here we are. We're taking another leg up, or we're pushing up a little higher. We made a new high of day, but it seems to see it's pushing down again. We'll watch it and see what happens. But that trade with what was it that I did exactly? So I bought in, I went long 10,000, then I sold 5,000, and then I sold the rest. So if we go in here, let's go to my filled orders. So we did the buy of 10,000 shares at 342. And then we hit our 15-cent profit target. So we sold half, looking for maybe more of a push up, but didn't see it. So we sold the rest at 353 before it had a chance to come back down and potentially take our profits away. So I'm happy with that. I can't complain about that by any stretch. Executed exactly the way I planned to do it. We never came down and hit, at least while I was in. I guess looking at the candle now, if you were to do like a hindsight analysis, it could look like that maybe it did dip below where my max loss was going to be, which was going to be 325 based on the based on it was actually it should have been, I said 325, it should have been around 318. That's where the bottom of this candle is. So if this candle were to dip below, that's where I would have got out. While I was in, we never saw that. Now this is interesting what's going on here. This is forming a doji in the 5 minute, and we're just seeing a lot of consolidation here. We're seeing a good range of consolidation, half a point of consolidation that's getting tighter and tighter. I'm wondering if this is not going to make some kind of wedge to the upside here. Just keep watching it because it seems to be respecting this EMA here really, really well. It's kind of trending above it right now. See, this is something I remember learning about, where you have this a green long body candle and then a red long body. I believe that is bearish, but I could be wrong. But now we have such long wicks, we've got to come all the way back up here to ultimately what this is telling me, right, is that we're not currently in, if we were to look at just the open and ignore the pre-market, ignore the fact that it gapped up, what I'm seeing is consolidation. There's not really a pattern here, except for now it's looking like we're starting to trend downward, and volume is increasing now as we're going down, but it's been decreasing from when we had all this, volatility, and it was looking promising, right? It was looking very much like a continuation of this. Now it's looking like we're pulling back. Now we're at a support level, but I don't like to trade off of a support. I want to see, like this is what I really like to see, or this is what I like to see, right? One of these, and then a green candle that is going to push up. This, I guess this does kind of resemble this, but if we look at this here, it doesn't, it doesn't look the same, right? If we were to even trade it off the 5 minute, we had a good period of indecision here, green indecision, and then a little bit of a high. So you could have got in here and rode this up and then sold out right here. If you were trading the 5 minute, I'm trading on the 1 minute, but volume's decreasing. Whereas through there, it wasn't, wasn't decreasing. It was increasing. This could be that moment. We'll see what happens. Not going to trade it. We're down below the VWAP now. It's the first time that's happened in a little bit of time. We're also up $1,400, right, on that trade. So this would actually be a good walking away moment for the day, right? This was also, that was the first thought that crossed my mind once I closed that position out, was we made enough profit on this that this would have absolutely been a walk away moment for the day for me, in terms of like, let's turn off all trading and let's just watch the charts. So at that point, I'm feeling like I shouldn't take a position as well because of that. Let's take a look at some of our other charts. Looks like there's some movement going on over here. So this is really selling off on high volume. So definitely no opportunity there, in my opinion. This saw a nice little pop. Now this might be the pullback that it could be. Let's see. Take a look at what we've got here. So this one, I don't know, really low volume selling in comparison. I mean, we got this big candle here, increasing volume as it went up, decreasing volume as it goes down. This could be looking for another pop. And we're at that 20 moving average now. Level two is definitely the thing I have the hardest time with. I mean, I look at this and I can interpret it to an extent, but I almost feel like I get more confused when I look at it because I'm looking for some kind of guidance in terms of what direction we're going to go. And I'm kind of looking at this and then I'm looking at the time and sales kind of out of my peripheral right here. I definitely need to work on continuing to study different level twos on different charts and see if I can start to make sense of it. Where are we headed on BSFC? Oh my God, we're going way down. All right, so that's over for me. That's absolutely over. We took what we could out of it. We made a good decision. And arguably, right, this is an interesting learning moment for me. Looking at this now, obviously hindsight is this here. Well, actually this, well, not really this because this isn't an indication of this trend changing, this going sideways. But this candle for making a new high is. I didn't get in because this was still pre-market and I wanted to see what market open was going to do, and I also wanted to see it break that high. So we made the right decision. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we traded this the correct way. But we could have, right, when we saw this break, even though this is a big bearish red candle, when it was forming, it didn't look that way. So you could have still gotten in here and it would have been a profitable trade. It would have been more profitable because we'd been in, oh geez, 15% lower. We would have doubled our potential gain. But I'm not going to nitpick that. I'm happy with the way that turned out. So I'm not worried about that at all. This one has just been selling off all morning. We'd have to see a few legs up to determine this is a reversal. So overall, I think a really good trading day. I think from here, we're just going to watch the charts. I don't think I'm going to make any more trades. We got a good trade out of the time we had, and I'm really, really happy with it. So I think at this point, I might just hang out, watch the charts a few more minutes, but I don't plan on taking any more trades. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, I've updated the spreadsheet to reflect the trades that we made today. You can see that there's actually no 6/26 or June 26th on here, and that's just simply because we didn't make a trade. So if you didn't get a chance to watch day three, you could go back and you can see why I didn't make any trades. We did have some things on the scanner that we looked at, but didn't see a reason to take a position on any of those. But I couldn't be happier with some of the results that we've been getting so far. I mean, this really doesn't feel real. I don't think it's luck, but I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just a really good week for the stock market and everybody's doing great. I gotta see what happens next week. We're gonna keep on going and tracking every single transaction that happens here. But you can see even from my monitor tab here, this is what I'm doing. I'm just taking the information from the trades that were executed in the trading platform. So you can see 931. We opened up $10,000, 10,000 shares of BSFC at $3.42, and then we've got our two cells up here. So I just added those into the sheet so we can see that that first entry, right, which was a break of the high of day and or the high of the pre-market rather, and we got in with 10,000 shares, and then within 2 minutes we were completely closed out of the position. Took a little profit off the table when we hit our profit target, which is 15 to 20 cents in there. As soon as we get that much profit, I'm looking to take at least half position off the table to secure some profit. So that was a green $850 profit there. And then we saw that it didn't look like it was going to go much further. We decided to take the rest of it out because we didn't want to be greedy. We wanted to just secure what we had. So we took the rest, the other remaining 5,000 shares out of the position at 353 for 6 cents less than if I would have sold it all. But either way, it was a total of about $1,400 in profit on that trade, bringing our running profit and loss up to a total of $10,780.09, which I couldn't be happier with. Considering every single trade we've taken so far has been green, either this is a really really good strategy or I'm just having really really good beginner's luck. Hopefully it stays this way. Obviously I'm expecting some red to come eventually, but if we can keep executing really really good entries like we have been and getting out at the right times and not getting greedy and not getting emotional, I think that this is going to keep going in a really really nice direction. But that's why we're here to upload these every single day so that way I can continue to provide you with the progress as it actually happens. And all those changes are going to go right into this sheet. So that way I'm able to see exactly what's happening at any given day, at any given time with what ticker. And that way I can try to figure out how I can continue to see good results and how I can avoid bad results in the future when they do start happening. So if you haven't yet, I'm going to be uploading another installment tomorrow. So make sure you come in and you don't miss that, because we don't know what's going to happen yet. We haven't done it yet, but when it happens, I'm going to upload it here. And so make sure you subscribe to this channel, leave a like on this video because it helps the algorithm a little bit. And if you're coming in as this is the first video you've seen, definitely go to the beginning of the playlist and just watch from the beginning, because I'm documenting everything I'm doing as a completely beginner trader trading in this simulated account. And we're gonna see how it pans out. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.